is one ugly title card, huh? Well, right off the bat, I'm just going to tell you I enjoyed this game a lot. And the graphics are amazing. I mean, the art direction, I have to say, whoever was involved with that, you are making masterpieces out of video games visually. But let's get you filled in a little bit on the storyline. Here we go.
11 years ago, Alice's family died in a fire. She blamed herself and was sent to an asylum. And this was the premise of the first game. After her release, she's put in the care of a psychiatrist. Her visions and nightmares continue, complicating her reality. Her new surroundings have intensified these hallucinations as well. The only place she knows she can find refuge, Wonderland, had almost been forgotten. However, she returns, and something has gone horribly wrong. She now has to save her Wonderland from what consumes it and herself.
So back to the graphics. Without Eyefinity, I still think they're amazing. I mean, it expands upon the fact that they're amazing, but, you know, I had played through half the game without it before I realized you can do it. I didn't think this game could be done at all in Eyefinity. And the detail is so vivid, and I'm only running it on these settings here. So those details aren't even the highest. They don't have to be. The detail, even on a mid-grade setting, is still amazing. Alice's dress changes for whatever level you're in. I mean, even her hair, every strand of it, seems to like... It seems like it has its own physics engine and lighting engine too. I've seen other games try and do this, but this one actually did it right. Such long, lustrous, flowing hair.
I could gush on about the graphics and art style all day, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to help you run this in Eyefinity. There's a website called Widescreen Gaming Forum, found at this address. I have it bookmarked to keep up with how to play those games I play. One program in particular that I use is made and maintained by someone with the screen named Hey Dan. It's called Flawless Widescreen. This is an essential tool to have if you're running ATI Eyefinity or NVIDIA Surround. Basically, you turn this on in the background and select the game. Leave it on, and then start the game, and all three screens will be used. You can even adjust the camera settings and whatnot, but I'm fine with just putting it on, and it'll run the game quite well without any of that.
So, remember, there's no point in this game where it even references Eyefinity, so it wasn't made for it. Nothing about multiple monitor technology in mind at all in this one. So even with Flawless Widescreen active, it's gonna have points where you gotta turn it off. And that's just all there is to it. They're few and far between, but they're there, and I hated turning it off as well.
There's an interesting turning point in the game where you'll encounter a painting and you enter it. You'll get trapped inside there, and then these levels are side-scrolling. The camera zooms in and out well enough, but most of the time, Alice's action is off the screen. I'm sure there's tweaking you can do in Flawless Widescreen to make this better, but I wasn't up for turning the game off and turning it on to find out I did it wrong, and then turning it off and on, and so on and so forth for hours until I rip out my phantom hair. I'm an impatient gamer after all. Another point in the game will come and the Eyefinity gamer will have the advantage, since you'll be able to see what's off screen and coming towards you. This particular part of the game becomes sort of a side-scrolling space shooter, even though you're underwater and shooting a cannon from a boat, but the principles are exactly the same. The normal gamer gets about this much of the screen. The widescreen gamer gets to see all of this. Don't get your hopes up, as the cannonballs won't go much further past the center screen, but at least you'll know what's coming and from where. Once again, turn the Flawless Widescreen off if you don't want to ruin this part. The last point I'd like to make is about the targeting. Much like most of today's games, if you hold down a button, Alice will lock onto a target, making it easier to attack whoever you so desire. While the graphics may go to the three monitors, the targeting stays on the center screen. An enemy could be all the way on the edge of the left monitor while Alice is all the way on the edge of the right, but the target, which should be above the enemy's head, just goes to the edge of the center screen. It's not the worst thing, but when there are a few too many enemies on screen, you may have trouble attacking the one you really want to.
So all in all, those were the only problems that I found with this game when you have it on Eyefinity, and those are the ones that would affect your gameplay in the least. There's a couple of scenes where the camera zoomed in too far. Or you see something that's a little odd or shouldn't be there. Those are usually in the cutscenes and you can ignore them. Other than that, I think the menu screens, they're a little odd. You just see some of the stuff off screen that you shouldn't if you have a single monitor, but this kind of stuff comes with the territory of a game that's not made for multi-monitors and being forced to do that. But it still turned out really good this way. So let's say you're intrigued by the storyline. You want to have more. Maybe you want to venture into the past and see what the first game was like. Well, I have the original disc right here, but you know, I believe it actually comes with the game. I saw it right there on the menu screen when I started playing mine. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Now granted, this is a bonus buy, and unfortunately, it really doesn't have anything to do with Eyefinity. I could be wrong, but I did enough research on the game that I was kind of tired of trying to find out. Frankly, this game wouldn't look too much better with it. Its old and clunky feel would make it a bad game by today's gaming standards anyway. If you can stomach this much, you'll still be in for a great story and some very interesting visuals, as dated as they might be.
So thanks again for watching, anybody who has been. If this is the fourth video you've seen by me, that's awesome. Thank you for seeing them all. And I hope this was helpful or informative to anyone running a multi-monitor setup, and possibly humorous for anyone who wasn't. I mean, I love doing this with my spare time. It sure beats seasoning chicken or pork, because I love my Jamaican dry rubs, and it feels more productive. So let's say thanks again and finish on that beautiful title card of mine one more time.